Hey now, say now, family. Hey, royalties. We are broadcasting live from the Hype Radio station. You are tuned in to the Queen's Table, and it's none other than the goddess Jaja. I hope all of y'all are having an awesome Friday night. Man, y'all could be any place, but y'all are tapped in and tuned in with your girl. I have an awesome show for you guys. I really do. I want to welcome my guest. As usual, I have my co-host sitting in with me. I have Miss Love. How you doing, lovely?
Ew.
Hey.
Happy Friday.
Absolutely. It's Friday.
Yes.
I'm ready to swing.
Hey.
Pick up my girls and hit the party sing.
Hey,
Hey,
tonight.
what? Yes, that's how we
Yes.
feeling tonight.
Mhm.
So, we're going to go ahead and dig into it. But first, let me go ahead and thank all my viewers that are in Facebook land, Instagram, however you guys are tapped in and tuned in. I want to thank you. I'm asking you guys to add a friend, have them join in as we dig in today. Let's get a watch party going. So for those of you that are listening on the World Wide Web, I ask that you guys go ahead and follow me on Facebook. It's Jaja, Jahjah. I'm also on Instagram as well. It's Jahyaada. Yes, Jayada. That's my AKA. So,
Hey.
so without further ado, I want to go ahead and welcome our guest this evening. I want to go ahead and welcome Alex Osby. Let's give her a big hand.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me this evening.
She's gonna have us all glowed up.
Hey,
Yes.
let's get it.
Alex Osby is with us. She is the owner of Be Bare, Be Beautiful. So she has her own company. She is an esthetician.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and allow her to let us know where you're from and tell us about Be Bare, Be Beautiful.
Gotcha. I am originally from Merced, California, and I reside right now in Fairfield, California.
Okay.
I am based out of Vacaville right now. I have my own treatment room where it goes down. The vibe is everything. Be Bare, Be Beautiful is meant for women to feel beautiful in their own skin, to display them as what they are and who they are as an individual, and be able to walk and appreciate your grace as you walk through flawlessly.
Oh, yes. I love all of that, honey. Bring it in all your glory.
Yes.
True goddess.
Thank you so much.
So, as far as an esthetician goes, can you tell us what exactly an esthetician does?
Yes, we specialize in skin, so it's hair removal, facials, and say eyelash extensions, and we can go
okay.
further than that. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so there's some other things that you can go into, as such as like fat loss things and things like getting deeper into it, more skin evasive things is laser and things like that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. What made you want to get into being an esthetician?
That's a really good question. Honestly, it was all about a hustle.
Okay.
I was going basically towards my nursing,
Mhm.
and I had told my husband, I heard about an esthetician program, and maybe I can do Brazilians as a side hustle.
Oh, so you start off with
So-
doing Brazilians.
So what I did was, as soon as I left school,
Uh-huh.
you have to wait for like your date and things like that to get licensed.
Okay.
And what I did was, I said, hey, what I'll do is I'll step into going, hey, every stepping stone. So I was like, I'm gonna go to European Wax Center.
Uh-huh.
And I went to European Wax Center. I made sure I set my goals, and that's what's really important, is you got to make sure that you align yourself, and they're stepping stones. You're not just going to get right to the prize. So I wanted to definitely know what I was doing, especially with wax. And so I got in there. I gave myself 6 months. I lasted 3. And I was like, I got to get out of here.
Why? What happened?
But you lasted 3
3
the
months.
schooling, or
No,
actually?
after I picked up what I needed to pick up, and I got
Okay.
out of there.
To do your own thing.
Look, yeah, I didn't
Okay,
have
there we
time to be
go.
playing with them.
Okay. Get
So,
your money.
yeah,
Get
it
your
was all
grits,
about
yes.
watching and learning
Right.
and really taking the craft and making it my own.
Right.
And that's really important. So I noticed that I got it. And when I had it, I was just like, what am I? There's no need for me here.
Right.
I'm watching my money walk out the door, and I'm
Right.
making somebody else rich.
Yep.
So
Facts.
it was like, nah, it's time.
Okay, that makes sense. That's smart thinking. You didn't waste much time because what happens is people kind of get caught up, like when you do, they get comfortable.
Absolutely.
Especially when you do cosmetology or anything of that nature.
Yes.
You know, whether you're a manicurist, esthetician, and all of that, you spend a lot of time paying somebody, whether it's
For
booth
sure.
rental or you're working for a company. I have to say, I was a cosmetologist for 10 years,
Oh wow.
and so I did the booth rental thing.
I didn't know that.
What? Yes,
Yes.
honey.
A
that was
jack
my-
of all
Yes,
trades right there.
right, hey.
She
Yes.
was a doctor, a nurse,
She was getting
a
it.
lawyer.
Yes, I
Jack
did.
of all trades.
I'm fresh out of high
Did
school.
it?
I graduated early to do that, and my passion was really hair. Like, I love to make people look beautiful. I
That's
love to look
awesome.
beautiful.
Yes,
so it's only
right.
natural, you know. So I did that for 10 years, and I, booth rental. I worked at like Great Clip Supercuts, I master cutter, all of that, and I spent a lot of time paying somebody else instead of, like you did the 3 months you got out, and you was like, hey, let me get
Absolutely.
my chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Look,
that's smart.
Yeah.
sure.
There was no waiting. It was like, nah. Let's
Yeah.
get this going.
Right. And then today, it just seems like the atmosphere is just breeding so much of us doing our own thing in business.
Oh, most definitely.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love what I'm feeling now today.
Oh, most definitely, and to support our sisters in all that we're doing in the entrepreneurial
Yes,
world. You know,
yes.
yeah, that's very important.
So when someone is looking for an esthetician, what are some attributes that they should look for in an esthetician?
They should definitely, make sure they're checking out reviews. What I definitely take personally is I want my clients to feel welcome where they are. So I offer what's really important to me as a special. I offer this special that it is $32 for your first time Brazilian.
Okay.
And the reason being, and everybody's like, oh my God, that's so cheap. It's so cheap. And I'm just like, it's so that you get to know me. I'm in your personal space
yeah.
for a very long, not a very long time. It's 15 minutes. I
It's
tell you,
long
look,
enough.
Oh,
it's
honey.
15
Talk
minutes.
about
honey, that's
Look,
We
oh,
just
that
met.
feels
oh,
like
honey,
an
I don't do all
hour.
fours. And that's the thing is, see, you say all fours, and I don't do all fours
Okay.
because that's something else.
Yeah.
Look, that's something else. I'm not getting on all my fours, hey, no. So it's technique.
Yeah.
It's how you bring them in. It's your presence. It's the vibe
Right.
of everything. And that's what you want your client to get to know.
Right.
So offering that special, price for you to get to know me for that little bit of time, it's really important. It's a real, first time impact that you're just supposed to let it all be free, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what it is for me.
I
Okay.
like that.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Now, I
it
mean,
does.
I got to ask about the whole experience on both sides on the Brazilian tip because, and we said we was going to talk about this. We're going to go ahead and get into the nappy dugout, the
Let's do
Brazilian.
it.
Let's talk
Yes,
about that
yes.
wax. So I've had one.
As have I.
Okay. So I think it is definitely, it's like a necessary evil. You don't necessarily have to do Brazilian wax, even though it's great, but it is important to have that situation downtown mode. Like I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Kings and queens, you do need to mow down there because it can get like wildfire.
Oh my God.
It can get bad. So let me
Trim
ask
them
you.
hedges. Trim them hedges.
Man.
Trim the edges, people can't act like there ain't no stench that goes with the hair.
Right.
There's certain things that you have to do to keep and maintain a great hygiene.
Yes.
And one thing is making sure your pretty girl down there is
Honey.
straight. Let me tell you.
Furby need to be soft and smooth. So let's talk about that when it comes to the wax experience for those of you guys who have not had a Brazilian. That first experience, yes, they all up in your situation.
Yes.
How what would you say for someone that's getting it done for the first time? What is your recommendations for someone getting it done the first time? How they should come? Because I know, and I gotta say this: shower or bathing? That's a good question. Shower or bathing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are
really.
things that you do have to tell people. I send out a welcome text. So
Okay.
anytime me and you either communicate or however, the very first time is we are communicating on a basis of I'm letting you know everything you need to know before your appointment and your setup date.
Right.
And that's mainly like letting you know how to prepare, like, say, I want you to exfoliate so that the hair grabs easier. It's not as hard. Because your very first time, we're pulling the main roots.
Yeah.
The main
Woo.
roots. I mean, every single time, but the very first time is something else, because those
She
are
said
really,
something else.
Yeah. I don't play. Look,
Right.
some of my clients are like, oh my God, she told me I should probably take Advil, 15
Yeah.
minutes before. And I'm like, well,
Seriously.
it literally is 15 minutes of pain for 3 months to be hairless.
Yeah.
You know? And if you want to stay hygienically clean and smell and feel good,
Right.
then I would take that route.
Absolutely. Because if you got that hair that's from like East Ghana, you know what I'm saying? You definitely want to make sure that you exfoliate, bathe, soak it, soften it up.
It's so sad. If you have curly textured hair, how about, can we do that?
Honey,
Curly
They know what
and
that
that's,
is.
you know, and that's the
East Ghana
thing.
hair is.
That's the thing too, is a lot of people don't believe, or they believe that all of our hair is very different down there. There is no different from getting a Caucasian woman
Girl.
and a black woman in there and getting waxed. Yes, some of the hairs are a lot curlier, but it just depends on that person, because everyone is different. I'm not playing. So like and
Well,
the
tell me
hair and
something.
the look, everything about a woman's vagina is very different.
Yes. Well, let's talk about
Absolutely.
the benefits of the Brazilian wax. We kind of talked about smell, hygiene, and things like that. When you're kind of promoting that to someone, how do you really promote that to someone to get them to do it?
Now, what I do, I want everybody to feel comfortable, so it's not like I'm not going to force you into doing something like that, boo-boo. You got to really work yourself up for it, and when you're ready, you'll do it.
Right.
But I definitely let them know that there is 3 weeks. You can be hairless. It makes you soft. It makes you feel good. And the hairs come back lighter and thinner.
Oh.
But a lot of women take that into thinking like, oh, well, I'm going to wait another month or a month and a half. You want to be consistent with these types of things. It helps you just to maintain that look and maintain that feel. So I recommend that you come back every 3 to 4 weeks so that it's not as harsh. And then you'll really realize like, oh my God, I didn't think it was really gonna be like that, because your hair is completely different. It is completely different.
The texture.
Oh, the
changed.
texture,
Wow.
absolutely.
I wouldn't know, cause I didn't go back.
Me neither. Me neither.
I didn't go back.
Wasn't a great experience for me.
And that's sad, because a lot of women go through that, and then they're like, yeah.
Well, the person was actually, she was good. Like she would engage me in conversation to distract me, kind of like when the doctor gives you a shot and they talk about something and
I don't
they
want
can
to talk.
shoot you. Yeah, no, she was good, and I told her, usually I don't get like that until I got dinner in the day, the proper day. But it was good, but it was the grow back process.
Oh.
That was the process that I didn't like.
The itchy
Gotcha.
boom boom.
It was very uncomfortable.
Education's very important.
Yeah, I mean, I did the exfoliate, I did the black soap, I did all those things that I was told, but it wasn't comfortable, the grow back. I was like,
Yeah.
Gotcha. And that's different for everyone, because the grow back is something else for certain women.
Yeah.
And it's different for everyone. I never had any problems with the grow back, but it's not as if it's not common. A lot of women deal with ingrown hairs. And exfoliating takes it to another level, and you have to understand what to be using on your vagina as well. See, a lot of women don't know that many things aren't supposed to be used on our lady parts. It's just not supposed to be happening. So you're only supposed to take things to a certain level, and a lot of women think that they could put a lot of supplies down there, that have all sorts of different products
perfume.
And you're not supposed to. I'm like, girl, don't even take no soap down there, because your lady gonna be mad at you later.
Right.
Self-cleaning oven.
Yes,
That's what my doctor told me. It's a
absolutely.
self-cleaning oven.
And that's a good way to put it, because it absolutely is. Water, you're good, honey.
See how I do it is water, definitely, but I have a removable shower head.
Oh,
and I feel like that gets
TMI.
the job done.
TMI.
I'm trying to tell you how to clean it right. Because some people be like thinking that they
Like,
need
oh my
soap.
God, it's just water. You take that.
It
shower
ain't
head.
TMI.
Like, wait, y'all doing something else.
Right.
I'm just the shower head.
Yeah. I mean, so you can get it good, baby. You got to get it.
Cleaner. Yeah.
I got you.
It ain't for other purposes. But it could be. I mean,
She like high pressure.
High-
I'm just kidding, y'all out there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So the grow back, but you'll experience that even with like shaving low.
Yes.
Like I definitely don't ever take it low.
No.
Whoa.
Cause
yeah.
I learned from
That's worse.
That's worse. I've learned from
Absolutely.
the Brazilian, but also with taking it super low too. You guys definitely don't want to. Ooh, don't bring it low, but low enough where it's you got a little fade.
Yeah, but you
A
also
little fade.
even during that stages, you need to be exfoliating your skin. Some people are like, "Oh, I just shave and I leave it like." I'm like, "No, baby
Yeah.
girl, you still want to exfoliate your skin because what we don't know is we're supposed to be exfoliating our whole bodies, y'all.
Right.
Every 28 days our hair is renewed, our skin is renewed, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
And we're supposed to be getting rid of that dead layer of the
Yeah.
epidermis, So once you do that, your skin shines the way it's supposed to shine. Your face shines the way it's supposed to shine,
Listen here.
So those are things that you want to keep in mind. We weren't taught those. I wasn't taught that. So
No,
until I learned
not
it in
at all.
school, I
Right.
was like, girl, I've been dirty. Like I've been carrying around all
Right,
this,
right.
it's old skin,
Right.
But it's not that because of course what we don't even realize is that like washing our pillows and our blankets and
mandatory.
our sheets, every other week, or I do it once a week,
Yeah.
and that makes me feel clean because I'm
Yes.
just like, oh no, this is happening. Shoot, my husband sleep with me. I don't know when his skin is, changing.
Right.
So those are things that you have to keep in mind, and that also goes back to the skincare, because we lay on that old skin and
Yep.
stuff
Slime
falling out of
and
our
funk
hair
and all of
and
that.
things like that. That gets on our face
Yeah.
and that stays there,
Yeah.
So you've got to think about those types of things as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any other questions you have about keeping that mold down? Okay. Do people ever take laser, or they always just wax? Is it ever laser down there
a lot
too?
of women. There's a lot of women that laser. I've had a couple clients. Laser is supposed to be permanent hair removal.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't work for everybody. It's like anything else. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
I have a client that had it done about 5 years ago,
Okay.
and she still sometimes will get new hairs, and she'll just come get a cleanup. But I've heard great things about it, and I have heard not so great things about it. And honestly, I'm not a fan of it because they said it feels like a rubber band hitting your skin, and I'm like, on my vagina, I'm okay.
Wow.
That's a long time, and
Yeah.
you've got to go.
Sensitive.
Yeah, very. And
Yeah.
you've got to go. I think for like 8 sessions. I think it's 6 to 8 sessions. These aren't cheap sessions either.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know. So it's really important that when you do those types of things that you look for the right person to do it. You don't
Okay.
just go, everybody grab Groupons. I'm not shaming no Groupon, I
Right.
promise you. But when you do things like that, make sure you do all of your homework because getting your skin lasered, the
Yeah.
hair removal process is a big thing. So you got to be
Absolutely.
careful.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's good to know because I've heard about it. Definitely not something that I was interested in trying, but I was like, wow, okay, they laser in the hair down there too? Oh. I think I'll stick to just, snip, snip, snip.
And it's everywhere. People are getting this done everywhere. Like
Yeah.
your full legs and things
I would
like
say
that.
I would do laser on my
Yeah.
legs and on my underarms because
Yeah, underarms,
I would consider laser there. It's
right.
not as sensitive as her.
Yeah.
She,
yeah.
the box.
Right.
Look, for real.
So what about like when you are, for some people, experiencing waxing or using a razor for their underarms, since you were speaking about underarms, and even if you're, shaving down below or whatever the case may be, or your legs, and you get the dark, sometimes it gets dark with doing that. How does one remedy
Absolutely.
that?
Now, what's a really good remedy is you do want to exfoliate. Exfoliating is really good for that. A lot of natural exfoliants, I tell my guests that I like for them to use those things because it keeps your pH levels all the way intact. Anything you can place inside of your mouth as far as like herbs go, those are really good for the skin. You want to do your homework, of course, and you want to make sure, learning throughout that process, you'll learn what your skin is good for and what it's not good for, what those things are. A good one I like to use is the turmeric that you
Okay.
had. So I make a turmeric-based exfoliant.
Yeah.
And those are the things that I tell my clients. I'll even give them tips as far as, hey, why don't you, even if you can't afford it, honey, get you some brown sugar, get you some
Yeah.
olive oil,
Yeah.
mix that up and exfoliate. That's all it really is.
Brown
you know?
sugar and olive oil.
Yeah.
Brown sugar and
Honey,
olive oil
that's
is a great
such a
exfoliant.
super, like the super easy. Any type of
Yeah.
oil that you really like for your skin
I'm gonna
type.
try
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
even
the
a
brown
tea
sugar
tree
and
oil.
olive
A
Okay.
tea tree oil is really good
Yes,
to exfoliate
and
your skin
I
with.
didn't bring my
So
tea
when you
tree,
do
yes.
that, exfoliate, yeah, that's what you do. You mix up some turmeric, a little bit of turmeric
Yeah,
powder,
yeah.
brown sugar, and grapeseed oil.
Okay.
Those are simple things, those little things that help your skin glow
Right.
afterwards. Turmeric is very, very strong because
It
it
is.
does. It will dye the skin
Mhm.
and
Have that yellow tinge.
man, it'll
Yeah.
have that yellow tint.
Mhm.
But the benefits of it are amazing. It helps with inflammation. It kills bacteria. It's doing so many things to help you keep up with, your skin and the colors. So
Mhm.
definitely, I love turmeric.
Yeah.
So you're saying turmeric will get rid of the what she was saying, the dark,
Yes,
the
the
dark
darkness,
pigmentation.
yes. Yes.
Where does that really come
Lemon,
from?
too.
Lemon, yeah, I heard that.
Lemon,
yeah.
too.
Yeah, lemon
Um,
will.
yeah.
I've actually done lemon. Just be very careful
Yeah.
because it's very acidic.
Yeah.
Very,
You don't
very.
want to overdo it. You will burn yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Literally.
And if you put it on there just completely plain with nothing else, like
Mhm.
helping it to stay on the skin without burning you, you are absolutely right.
I
That
did
could be
this
dangerous.
Baking soda and lemon
With the lemon.
paste.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
That was
Mhm.
real strong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What did you use that on your underarms?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another really good one, because that's part of the exfoliation is
Mhm.
what else that I use? It's a Himalayan salt.
Himalayan salt.
I love Himalayan salt. Yes, Himalayan salt is very good for the skin, and
Okay.
it'll definitely help with the dark marks.
Okay, that's good to know. So that would help, like with them black knees.
Knees,
Mhm.
elbows.
Them elbows.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And what about with the neck? That's another thing that I know I see, like with the dark neck. Is that from something that's even more in depth? Because back in the day, for those that are on the lighter side, and your mom or your granny used to be like, "You ain't washing your neck," and they get a towel and they scrub it to death, or put some alcohol or some baking soda or something on there to try and scrub the dirt out.
Yeah.
Where does that really come from? Because I think it's a little, because you got grown-ups that got that kind of neck though. Like, where does that come from?
A lot of that also, it's not only it's skin, like kind of tapped up on top, so you got a lot of skin build up. You're not exfoliating your skin. It's the sun too, y'all. Stay
Yeah.
out the sun. If
Yeah.
you don't realize, we turn our backs to the sun. If your hair is up, if you bald and you got a fade, that sun is hitting your neck.
Right.
So I'm not, what you want to do is you want to protect it by putting sunblock on. A lot of us ain't told that we should be wearing sunblock.
Who is we?
Us black
That
women,
part,
Right, yeah.
that
black
part.
men,
Yeah.
we all need to be wearing sunblock, because it's not to stop us from getting darker, it's to protect us from the UV rays coming from the sun, y'all.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
I'm
So,
guilty.
yes,
Well,
so
and
it's
then
very
this sun
important.
is different. This ain't the sun of back in the 50s and 40s. This sun is like the
Yeah.
ozone layer has
Yeah.
thinned out, so the sun is like penetrating deeply.
Oh,
So
super
it
deep.
totally makes sense now. If it never made sense before, it does now, because I think we can tell it's a different
Yeah.
sun in the temperature that it's penetrating here on the earth. So yeah, I
Yeah,
agree
most
with you there.
definitely. Yeah, so we don't block us with nothing, and the hat just sits right here. Don't, move from right here. So we get all that to the back of the neck. And if we don't remove that dead skin and
Yeah.
it just keeps building up, that's what it's going to look like. So y'all just exfoliate and put some sunblock
Exfoliate,
on.
exfoliate. So, what do you specialize in? We've talked about what you initially, when you stepped out the box after you got your training and whatnot, and you focused on the Brazilian wax. What's your specialty now?
My specialty now is I am making my own skincare line.
Awesome.
My own natural skincare line. We had a project in school, and I realized that it was amazing to be able to go in my kitchen, because that's what the rules were. Basically, we had to go inside of our kitchen and find things that would help us with our skin. And we had to build a skincare line. We had to make a brochure. We had to tell all these things. And I was really, really intrigued with making my skincare line. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to start off with one product.
Okay.
And I made Glow Butter.
Glow
And
butter.
yeah.
That
Okay.
sounds amazing.
Yes, I made Glow Butter. Blow Butter is a natural, and it's 100% all natural. Shea butter,
Shea butter.
and it's infused with marijuana.
Oh, snap.
And calendula, and
Okay.
these and what else? There's lemon essential oil in there as
Okay.
well. And this is basically, it was like I had this idea, and I like to grow my own herbs.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I wanted to figure out what I can use my marijuana in.
Mhm.
And when I started, I was just like, this is going to be great.
Mhm.
I can't wait to see what it does, because the effects of shea butter already, I know that infusing it and giving it an extra kick
Yeah.
was going to do something else.
Right.
People don't understand the magnitude of what marijuana does for the skin, and also calendula and all of these things. I'm telling you now, calendula is a flower you probably see every day and would have no idea that that's a calendula.
What does
and
calendula
it
look
does it for my
like?
skin. It's an orange or yellow flower.
Uh-huh.
That's just outside, girl. It's really just outside.
Okay.
And it could be in your grass. They have, of course, farms, of course, things like
Mhm.
that. But I put all these things together, and I just started using it slowly to see what it would do, and seeing who would try it. Let's see, let's give it here and let's give it there.
Uh-huh.
And the magnitude of the benefits that it had for the people that used it was amazing.
Mhm.
My niece has really bad eczema, and it got to the point of where she was being made fun of at school.
Oh.
So her mom was taking her back and forth to the doctor, and of course they send you to a dermatologist. They
Yeah.
want that money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sent her to the dermatologist. They gave her steroids. I'm like, that baby is 9 years old. Like,
Wow.
why that?
Right.
So I then decided, like, no, try this.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not. I was even amazed,
Uh-huh.
because I was like, whoa. 6 days later, she sent me a picture and was like, look at what you did.
Wow.
And I was just like, are you serious?
Look at
Because it
God.
was down the throat.
I seen the pictures.
and,
I remember.
and around her mouth,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
just couldn't. And just the effects that it made for her, and how she was like, Auntie, look at what you did. And I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, honey, like,
Right.
yay. It was a great feeling. So
Sure.
I like to be able to touch those that have that basis of knowing that I'm gonna be okay once I'm done with Alex. Like, look, I'm gonna be better than what I was when
Right.
I dealt with Alex.
Right.
So yeah, I'm so excited about that, and just the product itself. I've got the whole skincare line I'm launching on February 1st.
Ooh,
exciting.
that's around the corner.
And yes, and I've been working on it for a long time, and I finally was like, yep, I put my stamp on it. A couple people have tried it. I've got my reviews and how it's worked for them.
That's
So that's been
fantastic.
that's been really dope, and that's
Exciting.
going to be on the website soon, and I'm just really excited for that move.
Cool. Well, that's God though working in you. You got you in that kitchen. They say that everything that you really need is in your cabinets.
Absolutely,
You have it in your house, and we go out and we spend all this money at all these fancy, shops and things like that. And most of the stuff that we put on our skin, like, breaks it out, dries it